We're going to try to achieve, take every step that's available to us. Our victims' families want that. They've asked for that. The jury's granted that to them. We think that that's a contract.
Today, local officials held a news conference regarding the new updates in the case of State versus Darrell James Robinson. Rapides Parish District Attorney Philip Terrell, currently Sheriff Mark Wood, and former Sheriff William Hilton provided their perspectives on the case. Officials applauded the Louisiana Supreme Court for overturning their decision in the case against quadruple murderer Darrell James Robinson. Terrell commended Governor Jeff Landry on the crime special session from this year and new policies to bring harsher penalties.
In all my years in law enforcement, which is 50 years, 26 years as sheriff, this is the most vicious crime that I've ever witnessed or our department has ever worked.
There has to be consequences for things that went on. And in this case, this man has to pay, period.
The Louisiana Supreme Court reversed its decision on Robertson's conviction and reinstated his death sentence, reversing its original decision to clear his criminal convictions and death sentence after a lower court found him guilty of those crimes. Robinson had shot and killed a family of 4 in 1996 in the Poland community. The victims were Billy Lambert, Lambert's sister, Carol Hooper, Hooper's daughter, Maureen Kelly, and Kelly's infant son, Nicholas. For the full news conference, you can head over to our website.